How's it going, everyone? In this video we'll be going over 5 things that you should know about the SNES Classic, SNES, or whatever your state likes to call it. And I'm talking about Nintendo hidden secrets, features that this little guy has. So let's begin. So by now, we should all be aware of what this little guy is. Nintendo pride jewel in bringing back the retro game and making a very low production number console. Why? Nobody knows why such low production numbers, but 6 months later, they are becoming more easier to find in most retail stores, and I happened to get my hands on one, and over my time of ownership, I found these very interesting hidden things that I haven't seen Nintendo talk about at all. So here at number 1 is the ability to reset the game in-game. So let's say you just started a game and suddenly changed your mind on the game mode you selected. And instead of hitting the reset button on the SNES, you could simply hold down left and right button and then hold down the start and select. Doing this will reboot the game and take you back to the main menu to allow you to select the correct game mode you originally wanted. So no need to get up and reset the console. In number 2, get yourself a classic Wii controller out of your controller pile that you may have. Now you can finally utilize this controller if you picked one up a long time ago. The little home button on the center controller, if pressed, will bring you back to the game menu, making it more convenient to switch game to game, so no need to get off your butt and hit the reset button if using the regular included controller. And if you don't have one, you can always find these things used in any GameStop for around $20. And if you're shopping online, I'll highly recommend making sure you pick up the official Nintendo one, since knockoffs usually tend to break or are just usually really unreliable. So, in our number 3 is a bit of a Nintendo hidden secret. It may look like these are the only games that are actually 2-player available, but in fact, Yoshi Island is indeed a 2-player game, even though it doesn't show the 2-player remote icon. To enable 2 players, it's sort of like a cheat code. In Yoshi Island, over the world's map, simply hold down the select button and then press X, X, Y, B, A. And then you're prompted with these new menu options. Each of these blocks are a series of little mini games, kind of like party games, and they can tend to be extremely fun with the right person. So besides Yoshi Island, there's another 2-player mode game, but this one's a bit weird and odd. I say weird and hidden because Earthbound, believe it or not, is a 2-player game, in a way, because both of you guys control the same character. I guess this is a good way to eliminate passing the controller around, since both of you guys will have the controller in hand and will be able to override each other's move, causing arguments, possibly. Who knows? Now before we go on to the next one, this video was brought you by yours truly. In the video description down below, we have a Facebook link to our Facebook page where we post all the latest tech deals that we could find. Just recently we found Assassin's Creed Unity for just under $1, but we love posting all the latest tech product deals that we find are worth getting, so make sure to like our Facebook page so you don't miss any deals that are worth getting. Now back to number 4. Thank you, myself. So for number 4 is the rewind function. You'll be surprised how many people that I spoke to didn't or weren't aware that this Nintendo had this feature, since the original SNES never had this functionality, but this new classic does. So this allows you, if you ever messed up on a certain level, instead of restarting that entire stage, you could actually rewind a few seconds and go ahead and correct your mistake. So to perform this, you need to go back to the game library, and on the game save slot, hover over the most recent saved, tap X, and you can literally tap R or left to fast forward a couple of seconds, and then press start to resume off where you left off. It's kind of cheating in my opinion, but during this era of time, games are much more easier compared to games that were back in the day. So to better suit players around this era, I guess this was a good feature to add, and I'm not really complaining. Now, you might have noticed I'm playing a game that wasn't originally included on the SNES Classic Gaming Library. That is because for number 5, if you haven't already, add some more ROMs that you legally own. Adding more ROMs on this thing is stupidly easy and simple. All you really need is a Windows OS computer, but unfortunately there's no support for Mac OS unless you're running Boot Camp or Parallels or some kind of virtual machine. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to do this tutorial. There's many other YouTube videos out there that go furthermore in depth and does a better job in explaining things. So I'll link some reference video in the video description down below. those guys are also the people that were involved in creating this. So make sure to check out those videos if you plan on doing this. But once again, it's incredibly stupidly easy. Anybody could really do this. Just try not to go overboard by downloading an insane amount of ROMs, because you do not want to spend 20 minutes scrolling through your gaming library just to play a certain game. And also, the more memory you use up on the SNES, the more functionalities you lose. For example, the rewind function. If you have a full memory, this thing only has like a couple 300 megabytes. That's not a lot of storage, but if you fill it up, you lose the rewind functionality since there isn't that much space in the disc. But I have seen ways you could actually plug in an external memory card, like an SD card, with a micro USB adapter that allows you to extend the memory. So how well does this do against a fully modded Raspberry Pi? Well, that's probably going to be for the next video. If you want to see that video, vote up on the little iCard to let me know that you want to see that versus. But that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to smash that like button. And if you like what I'm doing, want to support the channel, don't forget to also subscribe. Come on, I'm still a small channel. Let's grow this thing. Alright, I hope to see you guys on the next one. Peace.